home of the Dordt University Defenders, and cited this GPAC men's volleyball matchup featuring Dordt University as they play host to Kansas Wesleyan. As this is match number 2 for the Dordt University Defenders. They opened the season this past Thursday night. Also a conference match where they knocked off Central Christian in straight sets. Game scores were 25-10, 25-5, 25-15. So Central Christian was the Defenders' first opponent. Dordt coming in with a 1-0 record. Kansas Wesleyan, they are the exact opposite. They are 0-1 on the season. They made their season debut last night up in Jamestown, North Dakota. That also a conference matchup. They lost to 10th-ranked Jamestown, also in straight sets. Game scores there were 25-11, 25-20, 25-16. So it'll be match number 2 for both of these teams, and the second conference matchup for both of these teams. Should be a good night for GPAC men's volleyball. And a match that originally was scheduled for 3 p.m., but because of the weather, we pushed it back to the night to allow Kansas Wesleyan to get here, and they made it here safely. It's good to see our friends from Kansas Wesleyan. It's been a busy day for Defender Athletics. Like to recap what's gone on so far this weekend. It started yesterday. Over at Mount Marty, the women's track and field team, we sent 2 members to compete in the pentathlon, Kelsey Evenhouse and Faith Measle, and they finished well. They finished 5th and 6th respectively in the pentathlon. This was Kelsey's first ever pentathlon at Dordt, and she finished 5th. Faith Measle was 6th. And Measle, it was a personal best score for her. And then earlier in this afternoon, the Defender cheer and dance programs competed. Over at the Northwestern Invite, the dance team 3rd place with 72 points. Cheerleading got 3rd out of 6 teams, 78 points. So a nice showing for Coach Knobloch and the Defender cheer and dance programs. And then earlier today, the basketball doubleheader took place, and you may have listened to that either on KIHK or the Dordt Media Network. In women's basketball, Dordt defeated Hastings 73-55, and 4 players scored in double figures, led by Janie Skonoven, 16.6 rebounds, Bailey Beckman, 14 points for her. And then the men just wrapped up. They got a 10-point road win over Hastings. 71-61 was that final. The Defenders led by Lucas Lorenzen with 23 points, Jacob Viss with 22. So it's been a busy day, but a great day/weekend for Defender Athletics. And let's hope that the men's volleyball team continues that trend today. Dordt University head coach Chad Hansen, he's in his 8th season. He's been the only coach in men's volleyball program history. He was hired back in April of 2015, and he has brought the team from club status to an actual sport. He has also been the women's coach since 2011 to 2021. That is about an 11-year stint. And he is just the men's coach now. This is the Defender team, picked 2nd out of 6 teams in the GPAC preseason poll, just behind number 10 Jamestown. Jamestown, the regular season and postseason champion. They are the preseason favorite. This is the Defender team that went 7-3 in the conference, tied Ottawa for 2nd place, and but earned the tie break, and they were the number 2 seed. They were 8-9 overall, and that was the best ever season for men's volleyball for the Defenders. And you take a look at the conference teams: Jamestown, Dordt, Ottawa, Kansas Wesleyan, Central Christian, and Morningside is 6 teams, and Dordt picked to finish 2nd among those teams. And Dordt, each season that they've had men's volleyball as a actual sport, not a club status, they have improved. Last year they made it to the GPAC semifinals before losing to Ottawa. And this is a Defender team that returns a lot of firepower from last year, led by Caleb Kaliza, a 2-time first-team all-conference player. He's been one of the leading hitters the last 2 seasons. He had 14 kills in the win over Central Christian earlier in this week. Brady Frost, who was a freshman last year, he returns as a starter. He had 9 kills in the win over Central Christian. The defenders also returned both of their middles, and Dylan Koyman and Luke Nelson. Nelson, a second-team all-conference player. Dylan Koyman, all-conference as well. And the setter, Lucas Van Groningen, an all-conference player. Van Groningen in his sophomore season, a sophomore from Ripon, California. And the libero, Robert Piekosh. He was a first-team all-conference selection, a sophomore from Warsaw, Poland. A little bit about Kansas Wesleyan, tonight's opponent. The Coyotes from Kansas Wesleyan, they are under new leadership. Head coach Dustin Salmon took over for interim coach Kate Madsen in the offseason. Salmon comes over from Lyon College, where he was the women's programs coach. So Coach Salmon takes over a program that went 2-18 in the overall, 2-8, finished 5th in the conference standings. And this is a young squad as they kind of rebuild it. They don't have any seniors, and they're led by a couple of returners. Viet Wynn, an all-conference player. He averaged 1.5 kills per set, and Angel Diaz, also a returner for Kansas Wesleyan. They're going to have senior day for the defenders as we recognize the 4 seniors involved with the program. Levi Vroom, Logan Van Italy, also Luke Nelson and Caleb Kaliza being recognized and on the floor right now prior to the match. And so we'll take a short break and we'll come back and have more of the pre-game show. You're watching the Dordt Media Network.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University and sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy. And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gymnasium. Again, pre-match festivities as Coach Chad Hansen and the Defender Nation recognizes the 4 seniors involved with the men's volleyball program. Levi Vroom was the first one, a senior from Lethbridge, Alberta. Logan Van Italy, senior from Davenport, Iowa. Luke Nelson, senior from Plymouth, Minnesota. And Caleb Kaliza was the last one, a senior from Chicago, Illinois. We're going to pause for prayer and national anthem.
Father in heaven, great and mighty and holy are you, O Lord. But we recognize it as a gift from your hand. We commit this match to you today. These athletes, these coaches, the officials, the various media members, and staff members, and helpers and fans. We pray that you would work in us and work through us that all of us might do our role for the praise of your glory. We pray this through Jesus Christ, your Son and our Lord. Amen.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gymnasium, site of this men's volleyball conference matchup. The Dordt University taking on Kansas Wesleyan. Both of these teams have played one match prior. Dordt University 1-0, a win over Central Christian on Thursday night, while Kansas Wesleyan coming in with an 0-1 record. Kansas Wesleyan lost to Jamestown last night in straight sets, 25-11, 25-20, 25-16. Jamestown ranked number 10 in the NAI. Jamestown, the preseason favorite, the defending GPAC regular season and postseason champion. Let's go over the starting lineups. First of all, for Kansas Wesleyan, under first-year head coach Dustin Salman. The Coyotes will run a 5-1. Marcus Taylor, 6'2 freshman from Brazil, will be the setter. The two middles, Colin Lindo, a sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Veet Wynn, a 6'6 sophomore from Wichita, Kansas. He's one of the few returners from last year's squad, all-conference player last year, one of the top hitters. On the outside, Jalen Watt, a 6'3 freshman from South Hadley, Massachusetts, and Justin Burris, a 6'3 freshman from Burbank, California. On the right, they'll have a left-hander, a 6'4 sophomore, Adam Zielinski from Plainfield, Illinois, and the libero is Jeremy Lopez, a 5'11 freshman from Burbank, California. Kansas Wesleyan, 8 freshmen on this roster, along with 5 sophomores and 1 junior, a very young roster for the Coyotes. For Dordt University and head coach Chad Hansen, assisted by Dylan Dahl and Allie Timmermans, they'll run a 5-1 with Lucas Van Groningen, a 6-foot sophomore from Ripon, California. He will be the setter, all-conference player. In the middle, Luke Nelson, a 6'3 senior from Plymouth, Minnesota, and Dylan Koyman, a 6'5 sophomore from Frankfort, Illinois. On the outside, Caleb Kaliza, a 6'2 senior from Chicago, Illinois. Diego Santiago, a 5'10 sophomore from Puerto Rico, and Brady Frost, a 6'6 sophomore from Neenah, Wisconsin. The libero is Robert Piekash, a 6'3 sophomore from Warsaw, Poland. You also hear Brady Fergan, a returner, in the back row, a 5'11 sophomore from Menno, South Dakota. And again, Dordt University 1-0, picked second in the GPAC preseason poll. They finished second last year, went 7-3 in the conference, 8-9 overall, the best season in program history, losing to Ottawa in a 5-setter in the GPAC semifinals. But optimism pretty high. They return a lot of firepower from last year, including 8 all-conference players. 8 players who have earned all conference honors in their past history, 7 of which were last season. And we are set to go here. Thank you for joining us here at the DeWitt Gymnasium. Matt, the SID on the call. Mike Biker's making the trip home from Hastings. As those teams left yesterday to kind of beat the snowstorm, they made it there safely, got 2 wins today. So enjoy the trip home, basketball teams. And great job today down in Hastings, Nebraska. Never an easy place to come away with 2 wins, but the defenders did that today. in GPAC basketball. The teams take the floor. And again, prior to the match, we recognize the 4 seniors. We'll continue to highlight them throughout the broadcast, probably talk to Coach Hansen afterwards about those 4 seniors as well. Again, the lineups for Dordt: Liberos, Piekash, setters, Van Groningen, the 2 middles, Nelson and Koyman, Frost, Santiago, and Kaliza. And Andres Guzman also will see some action on the outside for the defenders. It will be Kansas Wesleyan to serve first. And serving first will be Andy Tran, a 6-foot freshman from San Jose, California, and his serve taken in the back row by Piekash. Van Groningen goes right side to Guzman, who puts it away, and a kill right out of the gate for Andres Guzman, and it's 1-0 in favor of the defenders. Guzman will go back to serve. Guzman, a 2-time first-team all-conference selection. Guzman, a 6'3" junior from Bogota, Colombia. Guzman, big jump serve, top spin serve, and that just is in. Good call by the line judge. Top spin heavy serve, spinning down, and it gets right on the end line, 2-0, and an ace for Guzman. Thank you to the Dordt Media Network for making this video production possible. Guzman, same spot with the serve and same result. Back-to-back aces for Guzman, and it's 3-0 defenders. If you're new to men's volleyball, it's a much different game than women's volleyball. A lot more aces, and there's definitely more quicker points. You don't get the long rallies, and a few more errors, both service errors and hitting errors. And as I say that, there is one of those serving errors. It's 3-1. Guzman, 2 aces, and then the service error. Kansas Wesleyan will serve. Jeremy Lopez, a 5'11" freshman defensive specialist from Burbank, California, will take control in the service area. 3-person serve receive for the defenders. Here's Lopez, serve. Good pass by Brady Frost, who will get it back, left side pin. He's blocked back by Kansas Wesleyan, and the defenders return it, but it's hit away, put away at the net by Justin Burris, the 6'3" freshman, and it's 3-2 in favor of the defenders. Frost got a good pass, but a nice block in the middle set up by Kansas Wesleyan. Piekash spot on with the pass. Set goes to the middle to Koyman. Kansas Wesleyan digs it up, and they will tip it down for the kill. That was the setter, Marcus Taylor, with the kill, and we're tied at 3. Tied at 3 in set number 1, best of 5, and the serve taken once again by Piekash. Van Groningen, right side Kaliza, over the high hands, and down it goes. Caleb Kaliza with the kill, and the defenders with a 4-3 lead. Back to serve will be Robert Piekash, the 6'3" sophomore libero from Warsaw, Poland. Piekash, first team all-conference honors last year. Serve taken in the back row. Set goes outside, hit over by Burris. Defenders keep it alive. Piekash sends a free ball across. Kansas Wesleyan out of the middle. Hit back over by Van Groningen, but out of bounds. And a kill for Kansas Wesleyan. We're tied at 4. Tied at 4 early going in set number 1. Back to serve will be Marcus Taylor, 6'2" freshman. Again, this is a roster full of freshmen, 5 of which are in their starting rotation. Tough serve by Taylor, handled well by Piekash, set off the net. Kaliza set off the net, into the net it goes. And Kansas Wesleyan has their first lead of the match, 5-4, set number 1. Taylor back to serve. They run a 5-1 with Taylor. He's a freshman from Brazil. And that serve goes long. We're tied at 5. Kansas Wesleyan misses their first serve. Tied at 5, and serving will be Kaliza. Kaliza will rotate to the back row. You have Guzman and Frost as your pin hitters in this lineup. Tough serve by Kaliza, kept alive. Kansas Wesleyan will hit it over with Wynn. Here come the defenders. Van Groningen to Guzman out of the back row. Dug up by Kansas Wesleyan. They'll attack. Good pass by Piekash. Here's Frost on the left side. And that was a point for the defenders. Boy, Thought that maybe was outside the intent of the defenders. May have got a break there. So a kill for Frost at 6-5. And a serve coming from Kaliza. And that one just goes long. We're tied at 6 as the teams continue to trade points. Serving will be Justin Burris, 6'3" freshman from Burbank, California. Coyotes, several players from Burbank, California. They brought in 3 freshmen from Burbank. Then Groningen. Set goes to Kaliza on the right side, goes line, and a kill for Caleb Kaliza. 7-6, defenders with a 1-point lead. For Kaliza, that is his second kill. And serving will be Brady Frost. Frost, 6'6" sophomore from Neenah, Wisconsin. Big serve, handled nicely by Lopez. Set out to the right side. Defenders get control. Here's Guzman. He is blocked. Double blocked by Wynn and Colin Lindo. And we're tied at 7. Second block of the match for Kansas Wesleyan. And serving will be Lindo. Lindo back to serve. 6'4" sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada. Taken by Piekash. Here's Guzman, cross court. Handled by Kansas Wesleyan. Joust at the net, and it's won by Luke Nelson. Nelson with the kill, and the defenders back in front. 8-7 is the score. And Nelson will go to the service area. He will serve. Dylan Koyman will play the middle spot. Overpass by Kansas Wesleyan. Here come the defenders. Quick attack. Koyman puts it away. Dylan Koyman just outside the 10-foot line puts it away. 9-7 in favor of the defenders. Nelson back to serve. Senior from Plymouth, Minnesota. Final year in the Defender men's volleyball program. He'll serve it long, and it's a 1-point defender lead. 9-8 is the score. Viet Wynn, 6'6" sophomore, all-conference player last year for Kansas Wesleyan. He'll serve. Serve taken by Brady Fergan in the back row. Guzman tips it over, and it was effective. Nice adjustment by Andreas Guzman. 10-8 is the score. Guzman with his second kill in 5 swings. And it'll be the setter, Lucas Van Groningen, back to serve. Van Groningen, a 6-foot sophomore from California. 1 rotation in the books for both of these teams. Quick attack to the middle. Sent back by Koyman. Kansas Wesleyan sends a free ball across. Van Groningen. Right side, Guzman goes line. And a point for the defenders. At least right now it is. I think the officials are going to confer, so hold on just a moment. Khalib Lawrence with the initial attack for Kansas Wesleyan. Officials talking about this play. A swing by Andreas Guzman. He went down the line. Initially, I think they ruled in favor of the defenders. They're going to call the linesmen in as well, the 2 line judges. 10-8 is the score in favor of the defenders. And they are going to say it was out of bounds. It'll be Kansas Wesleyan. Point. So it's a 1-point defender lead. 10-9 is the score. And now the captain for the defenders, Caleb Kaliza, asking for an explanation. And he will come over to Coach Chad Hansen and explain what he heard. Serving for Kansas Wesleyan, Andy Tran. Tran back to serve for the Coyotes. 10-9, defenders with the lead here in set number 1. Tran serving. And a float serve taken by Piekash. Van Groningen outside. Kaliza puts it away. Nice swing by Caleb Kaliza. 11-9 in favor of the defenders here in set number 1. Guzman back to serve. Frost comes in to play the front row. You got Frost and Kaliza playing the front along with Koyman. As Guzman rotates to the back row. Guzman serving. Big serve. Taken by Lopez. Outside swing from Burris, and he puts it away. Justin Burris with the kill. Teams trade points. It's 11-10. Defenders lead by 1. Their largest lead was 2. Kansas Wesleyan has led by 1. Neither team has gone on a substantial run. I think 3 points has been the biggest run by either team. Piekash, nice pass. Kept alive by Van Groningen, and there to put it away is Brady Frost. What a play by Van Groningen just to keep that ball on the defender's side, and Frost flies in with authority. Brady Frost with a smash, and it's 12-10 in favor of the defenders. Piekash serving, played by Wynn in the back row, and an attack error for Kansas Wesleyan. 13-10, largest lead for the defenders here in set number 1. Piekash back to serve again. Defenders were one of the top hitting teams last year. They also ranked 13th in ace serves in the nation. Tipped over by the setter Taylor. Defenders reload. Here's Kaliza. He'll tip it over. Kansas Wesleyan keeps it alive. Wynn will return it. Piekash takes first contact. Van Groningen outside Frost. Blocked back by Kansas Wesleyan. Point Coyotes. Blocked by the setter Taylor, and Colin Lindo also got his hands in there. 13-11 in favor of the defenders. The setter Taylor back to serve. Defenders by 2, 13-11. And Taylor. That serve is going to go long and out of bounds. A missed serve by Kansas Wesleyan. 14-11 is our score. Kaliza floats back to serve. Frost and Guzman are your pin hitters. Luke Nelson now will be the middle. Kaliza to the back row. Kept alive Kansas Wesleyan. Here's Wynn. Nice dig by Frost. Guzman will send it across. They're going to call him for a double contact. Probably the right call. And it's a side out point for Kansas Wesleyan. 14-12 is our score. Back to serve will be Burris for Kansas Wesleyan. Burris serving. Frost in serve receive. Frost set off the net. He'll attack. High hands, gets a tip outside. There's a big swing on the outside. Jalen Watt hits it long and out of bounds. And a point for the defenders. 15-12 is the score in favor of Dordt. Set number 1, best of 5. And the serve from Frost. That goes into the net. Point Kansas Wesleyan. 15-13. Largest lead's been 3 in a back and forth, a tight first set. Colin Lindo will serve for Kansas Wesleyan. And the serve by Lindo. Floats it, and that's going to go long. And an easy point there for the defenders, 16-13. Neither team has been forced into a timeout at this point. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Nelson back to serve for the defenders. Nelson down the line, overpass. And there to greet it at the net was Guzman. Another overpass by Kansas Wesleyan, and putting it away is Dylan Koyman. Defenders had Kansas Wesleyan back on their heels the entire point. Koyman puts it away for the kill. And the defenders by 4, timeout called by Kansas Wesleyan. First timeout called by either team. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com, and we will come back after this short break. You are watching the Dordt Media Network.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy.
Back at the DeWitt Gymnasium, first set. Defenders with a 17-13 lead over Kansas Wesleyan in this GPAC matchup here at the DeWitt. Defenders by 4. It's the largest lead for either team in a back and forth first set. Kansas Wesleyan calls the first time out of the match. That is where we stand right now. It'll be defenders serving. Your leaders at this point, Caleb Kaliza leading the defenders along with Andreas Guzman, each with 3 kills. For Kansas Wesleyan, they're led so far by Justin Burris, one of their pin hitters. He's got 2 kills. Defenders hitting .286, 10 kills. Kansas Wesleyan 4 kills. They're hitting .231. And out of the timeout, an ace serve for the defenders. Nelson with the ace. That is the 4th ace of the match for the defenders. 18-13 in favor of Dordt. And another serve from Nelson. Serves it to the back line, handled by Burris. Quick attack to the middle. That's Lawrence, and Khalid Lawrence puts it away. Lawrence with his first kill in 2 swings. 18-14, side out Kansas Wesleyan. Back to serve is Wynn. Wynn to serve. Dordt leading 18-14, 7 points away from the first set. Wynn down the line. Guzman has it. Been grown again. Right side, Kaliza comes flying in. Kept alive, no. Second ball out of reach for Kansas Wesleyan. Kaliza will get credit for the kill. 19-14 in favor of the defenders. For Kaliza, that is his 4th kill, 6 swings, hitting .500. Back to serve will be Van Groningen. Van Groningen serving. Taken in the back by Lopez. And a back row attack hit into the net by Kansas Wesleyan. Another point for the defenders. Dordt is slow and steady here. Built up a 6-point lead. 20-14. Van Groningen floats one to the back corner. Played by Wynn. Set to the outside. Hit over by Watt. No! Blocked by the defenders. Kaliza and Koyman combine for the block. On the left side attack. And another point for the defenders. 21-14 in favor of Dordt. Van Groningen. Cross court. Tough ball for Kansas Wesleyan. They'll send a free ball across, see what the defenders can do. Piekash, Van Groningen, Kaliza. High hands by Kansas Wesleyan. They'll dig it up. Outside, that is hit over by Watt, and he'll tool it off the block. Side out Kansas Wesleyan. 21-15 in favor of the defenders. In to serve will be Tran. Tran back to serve. Set number 1, defenders by 6. 21-15 is our score. And Tran, big serve, handled by Guzman. Been grown again, quick attack. Koyman sends it down. Dylan Koyman with another kill. For Koyman, that is his 3rd kill in 4 swings. 22-15 is our score. Also has a block in this set. Guzman back to serve. Defenders 3 points away from the first set. And officials timeout. Here we go. Guzman will now serve. Guzman back to serve. And that one almost hit Professor Matt Beamers in the stands. I'd say Guzman went for that one. And the service error, 22-16 is our score. Here's a serve from Lopez, and he returns the favor. Oh my, that one hit the back wall. Those are 2 misses. Back to serve will be Piekash, 23-16. As I said, it's a different game. Here's Kansas Wesleyan, a little out of system. They'll send it across. Nice dig by Piekash. Van Groningen outside. Frost got it. Brady Frost with the kill. Set point coming up for the defenders, 24-16. And head coach Dustin Salmon will let this play out. He will not use his final timeout. So it's set point for the defenders. Piekash serving. Piekash, and he puts it into the net. Side out, Kansas Wesleyan. 24-17 is our score. Serving, still set point number 2. This will be Marcus Taylor serving for Kansas Wesleyan. Taylor back to serve. 24-17, Frost. Piekash takes second ball. Here's Kaliza, and down it goes. Inbounds, Caleb Kaliza finishes off the first set, his 5th kill of that set, and the defenders win set number 1 by the score of 25-17. 25-17, defenders take the first set. We'll be back with more from the DeWitt Gymnasium. You are watching the Dordt Media Network.
family, farm, business, community. People's Bank, where values matter.
Hello fans of Defender Sports, hope you're enjoying the game whether you're a friend or family member of a player or coach or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice and it shows. But going into each and every game, there's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has, and that's a game plan. If these players and coaches are willing to put this much time into planning for a game, how much more important is putting together a game plan for your financial life? Now, the financial world continually becomes more complicated, but if you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours upon hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules of the game in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, we've been helping households to build their financial game plan upon all the things more important than finances, while being good stewards of the resources God has entrusted to their care. Because there's things in life more important than money, and none of them are things. I'm Tom DeYoung, financial planner and president of Money Concepts, the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media. Check out our podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or your favorite podcast app, or schedule a complimentary meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. Enjoy the rest of the game and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money.
Here we live between big city and small town, but we don't do anything halfway. We play in a community that's safe for families while providing our kids big city opportunities. We work in a place proud of its rural history that's already writing its future in science and technology. This is a place where we love our neighbors and where a small town is more like a big family. Sioux Center, live life in the middle of everything.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gymnasium, home of the Dordt University Defenders. Site of this GPAC men's volleyball matchup. Dordt playing host to Kansas Wesleyan. Dordt takes the first set by the score of 25-17. Look at the first set numbers. Kansas Wesleyan, 6 kills and 18 attacks, 3 errors for a 17% kill efficiency. Dordt, 14 kills, 26 attempts, and 4 errors. They hit 39%. Your individual leaders, Caleb Kaliza with 5 kills, 3 each for Brady Frost, and Andreas Guzman. Kansas Wesleyan led by Justin Burris with 2 kills. The defenders with 3 aces, none for Kansas Wesleyan. Blocking numbers 3 for Kansas Wesleyan and 2 for the defenders. Busy day for GPAC men's volleyball. Here are the scores. This is the only match that is yet to be completed. Jamestown swept Central Christian in a conference matchup. The other ones have all been non-conference. Viterbo defeated Morningside 3-0. Morningside then lost to Lakeland College 3-1. Missouri Baptist beat Ottawa 3-0. So pretty busy day for men's volleyball across the conference. Serving will be the defenders. Kansas Wesleyan sets up Burris, blocked initially by the defenders. Burris reloads. This second attempt puts it away for the kill as he tools it off the block from the defenders. And Kansas Wesleyan out to a 1-0 lead. Serving will be Lopez. Lopez serving. Nice pass by Guzman. Van Groningen. Quick attack. Koyman dug up nicely by Kansas Wesleyan. They will send it across. P.A. Kosh with the dig. Van Groningen outside. Kaliza puts it away. Caleb Kaliza ties the second set at 1, his 6th kill of the match. Then Groningen with that set out to the left side pin. Kaliza with a big swing. Puts it away. We're tied at 1. Guzman back to serve. High toss. Guzman. And he sends it out of bounds. Missed serve by the defenders. 2-1 in favor of Kansas Wesleyan. Taylor back to serve. He is the setter. Kansas Wesleyan will have the 3 attackers in the front row with the setter in the back. Taylor serving. Taken by Guzman. Van Groningen set to Kaliza. Kansas Wesleyan unable to get to it. Kaliza will have another kill. 7 kills and 10 swings for Kaliza. And we're tied at 2. Tied at 2. P.A. Kosh to serve. Dordt will swap out its middle hitters. Nelson in for Koyman. Next 3 rotations. P.A. Kosh serving. to the back row. Wynn digs it up. Taylor's set goes to the outside, hit over by Wynn. Frost with the dig. Back row, Guzman into the net it goes. Point Kansas Wesleyan. Teams trading points to start set number 2. 3-2 is the score. Burris back to serve for the Coyotes. Burris to serve. He leads Kansas Wesleyan tonight with 3 kills so far. Serve taken by the defenders. Kaliza on the right side, muscles it through for the kill. Kaliza with another kill. We're tied at 3. That's 8 for Kaliza. Of course, prior to the match, the defenders recognized their 4 seniors, Levi Broom, Logan Van Italy, Luke Nelson, and Caleb Kaliza, for their work in this men's volleyball program. Right side attack hit over by Wynn. The defenders return it. And on the return back, Kansas Wesleyan called for a lift. Great defensive play by the defenders. And Dordt has its first lead of set 2, 4-3. Kaliza back to serve. Assistant coach Allie Timmermans giving the direction of where they want the serve to go. And I'd say it worked. Kaliza with an ace. 5-3 in favor of the defenders. 4 aces so far for Dordt in this match. The first one for Kaliza, 2 for Guzman, and 1 for Nelson. Kaliza, another serve. That one just goes long. And a side out point for Kansas Wesleyan. 5-4, defenders by 1, set number 2. Defenders won the first set, 25-17. Back to serve will be Lindo. Lindo, one of the 2 middles. Serve taken by Guzman. Van Groningen sends the second ball across. Dug up by Kansas Wesleyan. A little bit of a scramble play for both teams. Van Groningen sends it over. He attacks. Dug up Kansas Wesleyan. Back row attack. Defenders block it. Kept alive by Kansas Wesleyan. Dordt's going to get a free ball. Van Groningen over to Nelson, and he puts it away with authority. Nice point by the defenders. Both teams in scramble mode, but the defenders slowed up the attack. They got what they want, and Nelson just wallops the ball. And it's 6-4 in favor of the defenders. Nice word, right? Wallop. Here's the serve by Frost, and it just goes long. And a side out point for Kansas Wesleyan. 6-5 is the score. The defenders continue to hit at a very high efficiency, 37%, holding Kansas Wesleyan to just 16% so far. Serve taken by the defenders. Kaliza comes flying in and finds an opening. Puts it away. In between the left and middle back row spots, Kaliza with another kill. He's got 9, and the defenders with a 7-5 lead. Back to serve will be Nelson. Koyman rotates to the front row. Wynn has the serve receive. And out of the middle, that's Lawrence. Dug back over by the defenders. And we got a back row attack called against Kansas Wesleyan. Marcus Taylor called for the back row attack. And the defenders with an 8-5 lead. Here comes the serve from Nelson. That's Hung Win with the dig. Outside, big swing by Jalen Watt, and he puts it away. Watt with the kill, side out, Kansas Wesleyan. 8-6 is the score. Defenders by 2. Defender men's volleyball team trying to finish off a great day for Defender Athletics. Both basketball teams victorious in a doubleheader sweep at Hastings. They are on their way home, or at least I hope they are. And the set goes to the middle. Dylan Koyman puts it away. And Koyman with the kill. For Koyman, that is his 3rd kill. 9-6 in favor of the defenders. Van Groningen back to serve. He floats one to the back corner, played by Wynn. Set goes to Lawrence, and it's blocked by Guzman. Guzman with the block against the Lawrence attack. Point defenders. 10-6 is the score. Van Groningen back to serve, but before that, we'll have a Kansas Wesleyan timeout. Timeout, Kansas Wesleyan, their first of set 2. Defenders with a 10-6 lead here in set 2. And this timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll pause for a brief timeout. You are watching the Dordt Media Network.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
You are watching Dordt men's volleyball as they play host to Kansas Wesleyan from the DeWitt Gymnasium tonight. Timeout, Kansas Wesleyan defenders by 4. Here's a swing by Kaliza, goes line and puts it away. Caleb Kaliza in double figures, 10 kills, 13 swings. That is good for a kill efficiency of 69%. Kaliza right now hard to stop on that left side pin. Near overpass and back row attack against Taylor once again. Same play that happened just moments ago. And another point for the defenders as they stretch the lead to 6. 12-6 is the score. Here's the serve from the setter, Van Groningen, and an ace. Van Groningen with the ace serve. 13-6 in favor of the defenders. Serves it to the back corner. And Tran unable to handle it. 13-6. Defenders on a 6-0 run right now. Tran handles that one outside. Big swing coming from Burris. And he puts it away for the kill. That ends the run by the defenders. Burris with the kill. He's got 4 to lead Kansas Wesleyan. 13-7 is the score. Serving will be Lopez. Lopez back to serve. Played by Guzman. Van Groningen back to Guzman. He goes line and puts it away. Nice play by Andreas Guzman in serve receive and got in system. The approach was excellent. Puts it down the line. Guzman, 4 kills, and it's 14-7. Hard to transition when they serve it at you, but Guzman did it well there. Serving will be Diego Santiago, a sophomore from Puerto Rico. He'll be serving in the spot of Guzman, I believe, and Kansas Wesleyan called for being in the net. And another point for the defenders. 15-7 is the score. 15-7, Dordt with the lead. Set number 2 against Kansas Wesleyan, a conference matchup, believe it or not. Yes, I know Kansas Wesleyan, not your standard or normal conference opponent, most sports, but they are in men's volleyball. And an ace serve for Santiago. 16-7 in favor of the defenders. That is Dordt's 6th ace of the match. Another serve from Santiago. Big serve. Tran digs it up. Set by Taylor to the left side. Blocked but out of bounds. And Burris will get credit for the kill. 16-8 in favor of the defenders. Back to serve will be the setter, Marcus Taylor. Taylor back to serve. Kansas Wesleyan will have the extra attacker up front at all 3 spots. Taylor serving, played by the defenders. Here's Kaliza, and he is blocked. Burris, Lindo combined for the block, and it's 16-9. First point on serve in quite some time for Kansas Wesleyan. The defenders have done a nice job limiting points on serve for Kansas Wesleyan. Here's the serve, big serve. Piekash handles it beautifully. Koyman out of the middle, puts it away. You got to give credit to Piekash. He is so good in serve receive. That ball that he just handled kind of knocked him down, but he passed it almost perfectly. 17-9, Piekash back to serve. Defenders by 8. Right side attack, blocked by the defenders. Nelson, Frost combined for the block, 18-9 in favor of the defenders. Piekash back to serve. If you want to send me an email, matt.boss, that's matt.bos @dort.edu. Let us know where you're listening from. We'd love to hear from you. Might even give you a shout out on tonight's broadcast. Outside, that's Frost, and he puts it away for the kill. Brady Frost. Defenders are really clicking right now. Everything is flowing smooth. Even when they're scrambling, they're just able to control, set up a good attack, and get the point. 19-9 is the score. Defenders by 10. Piekash, serve. Kansas Wesleyan on the attack, and that was Wynn. They're going to say it was touched by the defenders, so Viet Wynn will get credit for the kill. 19-10 in favor of Dordt. Defenders won the first set 25-17. We are in set number 2, best of 5, mind you. Guzman, serve receive, quick attack out of the middle. That was Nelson, dug up Kansas Wesleyan. They'll set up on the left side. Watt has it blocked back. Watt again. This time will hit it over the block, but out of bounds. No touch, and a point for the defenders. Had to pause there a little bit. It could have been touched, but 20-10. Kaliza back to serve for Dordt. Kaliza's got a couple aces tonight. This one's played by Lopez. Out of the middle, and it's blocked by the defenders. Nelson and Frost combined for the block. 21-10, Dordt 4 points away from a 2-0 set lead. Kaliza back to serve again. Here's the serve from Kaliza. Played by Watt. Set goes to Watt. He'll send it across. Piekash has it. Van Groningen outside Kaliza. Cross court. Dug up by Kansas Wesleyan. They'll chase it down and send it back across. Here come the defenders. Van Groningen. That's bumped over. A little timing issue there. Kansas Wesleyan now on the attack. And nope, 4 hits is going to be the call. Kind of a broken play for both teams. Dordt outlasts. They force Kansas Wesleyan into the air. 22-10 in favor of the defenders. Kaliza back to serve. Kansas Wesleyan has a timeout left. 22-10, Kaliza with another serve. Nice pass by Lopez. Wesleyan on the attack, blocked back by Nelson. Here comes Wynn, dug up by Guzman. Van Groningen to Nelson. Kept alive by Lopez. Taylor, right side, over the block, and yep, that hit the floor. Good effort by Piekash. A side out for Kansas Wesleyan. 22-11 is the score. A couple of subs coming in for the defenders. Levi Vroom, senior from Lethbridge, Alberta, along with Logan Van Italy, a 6'4 senior from Davenport, Iowa. So the defenders with a little bit of a different lineup here. Vroom will serve as the setter. And I think we're good to go. The rotation looks good. It'll be Kansas Wesleyan serve. Lindo serving for the Coyotes, and he'll put it into the net. And a point for the defenders. 23-11. Dordt with the lead. Coming in to serve will be Brady Fergan. He will come in and serve for Frost. Fergan, a sophomore from Menno, South Dakota. Typically plays the back row. Sometimes serves, sometimes not. And the attack, good attack by Caleb Lawrence. Lawrence, freshman from California, puts it inside the 10-foot line. 23-12 in favor of the defenders. Serving will be Wynn. Viet Wynn serving. Played by Guzman, set close to the net, tapped down by Lawrence, and they are going to call him for breaking the plane. It'll be set point for the defenders. 24-12, set point. Serving will be Nelson. Nelson back to serve. Set point number 1 in this second set. Kansas Wesleyan will put in a couple of subs. 24-12 is the score. Nelson serving. Lopez. And out of the middle, that's Lawrence. Defenders keep it alive. Guzman on the left side, dug up by Wynn. And Kansas Wesleyan scrambling. They'll send it over. Guzman. There's a set by Vroom, hit over by Guzman. Kansas Wesleyan has it. Left side attack and inbounds. That's Jalen Watt who puts it away. 24-13. Still set point for the defenders. They lead 24-13. 1 point away from a 2-0 lead. Tran back to serve for Kansas Wesleyan. And that serve goes not even into the net, it goes below the net, hits a Coyote player, and that's going to do it for set number 2. Defenders take set 2, 25-13. It was 25-17 in the first. Defenders with a 2-0 lead. We'll talk about it after we take a short break. You are watching Defender Men's Volleyball on the Dordt Media Network.
American State Bank is celebrating our 50th anniversary, and we couldn't have made it this far without your support. For us, banking just scratches the surface. We pride ourselves in our commitment to our communities, building meaningful relationships with our customers, and doing our best to have some fun along the way. We're proud to be a locally owned and operated bank, supporting the communities we serve. Thank you for choosing American State Bank. We can't wait to see what the next 50 years have in store.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And today's broadcast sponsored by Ployne Publishing. Quality printing from design to delivery.
Back at the DeWitt Gymnasium, the Defender men's volleyball team up 2-0, 25-17, 25-13 are your individual set scores. Ready to start set 3. Before we do that, got to give a couple of shout outs and thank you for your emails. Love doing this. Shout out to Mike and Amy Vandervoort, the proud parents of Hendrick, a player on the Dordt men's volleyball team, watching from Linden, Washington. So thank you for your email. And also Pat and Julie Kromendijk, watching from Hamburg, Minnesota. The proud parents of Bennett Kromendijk, a freshman on the Defender men's volleyball team. Thank you so much for those emails. We love giving shout outs and to Defender Nation wherever they are watching or tuning in from. By the numbers, Dordt hitting 383 through 2 sets. Kansas Wesleyan hitting at 4.5% as set number 3 gets underway. We'll give you some more numbers here in a moment. Kansas Wesleyan with the first point of set 3. As Marcus Taylor, the setter, puts it away for the kill. Individually, Dordt led by Caleb Kaliza with 10 kills, 4 each for Dylan Koyman, Brady Frost, and Andreas Guzman. Serve goes to Piekash, Van Groningen, Koyman out of the middle. Run down by Kansas Wesleyan. They'll attack on the left side. Piekash diving, save, and a beauty. Set off the net. Kaliza on the attack, was not touched, out of bounds. It'll be Kansas Wesleyan with a point. And this is their largest lead. 2-0 is the score. Kansas Wesleyan led by Burris with 5 kills, 3 for Jalen Watt. And a missed serve from Kansas Wesleyan, and Dordt on the board in set number 3. You look at ace serves, Dordt with 6 aces, Kansas Wesleyan no aces. They have 7 service errors, Dordt has 9. Serving for the defenders, here comes Diego Santiago. He'll come in and serve for Andreas Guzman. 2-1 is the score. Thank you for joining us once again here on the Dordt Media Network. Matt, the SID, on the call. And the serve from Santiago. And Kansas Wesleyan, I'd say that was in system. Set up to Caleb Lawrence, and he puts it away in a big way. Lawrence with the kill. That was impressive. Inside the 10-foot line, ladies and gentlemen. 6'4" freshman Caleb Lawrence with the kill. That is his third. 3-1 in favor of Kansas Wesleyan. Serving will be Lopez, and he will serve it below the net. That takes out one of his teammates. Oh, this is a crazy game. Just a crazy game. 3-2 is the score. Wow. Piekash back to serve. Piekash for the defenders serving, and he will miss the serve. And a point for Kansas Wesleyan. 4-2 is the score. 4-2 is the score in favor of Kansas Wesleyan, but Dordt leads the match 2-0. 25-17, 25-13 were the scores. Here's serving will be the setter, Taylor. And that will miss long. That's 3 straight missed serves by these teams combined. And back to serve will be Kaliza for the defenders. Kaliza back to serve. Dordt trailing 4-3 early in set 3. And Kaliza puts it into the net. And a side out point for Kansas Wesleyan. 5-3 is the score. Serving will be Burris for Kansas Wesleyan. Serves it down the line, played by Frost. Outside Kaliza, and he puts it away. Cross court, down it goes, and it's 5-4. Kaliza with his 11th kill. And Dordt will have serve. This will be Brady Fergan back to serve, the sophomore. Fergan back to serve. And that one just goes wide. And a missed serve by the defenders. 6-4 in the early stages here of set number 3. Serving for Kansas Wesleyan will be Lindo. Played by Piekash. Van Groningen, Kaliza. Cross court, dug up by Kansas Wesleyan. They will set it up on the left side. Jalen Watt puts it away. Watt with the kill. Kansas Wesleyan with their largest lead of the match at 7-4. Plenty of time still to get back in this if you're the defenders. Watt with his 4th kill. Dordt sets up the middle. Luke Nelson puts it away. Nelson with the quick attack. And a side out for the defenders. For Nelson, his 3rd kill. Serving will be Nelson. Dylan Koyman will rotate to the middle, and Nelson misses serve. That's been the difference. Dordt unable to string any points together. They've missed, maybe 4 or 5 serves in a row now? Not sure on the official number there. Here's a serve played by the defenders. Outside, Guzman puts it down the line. Guzman with the attack. And a side out for the defenders. Shout out to Dave and Amy Van Bell as they are tuning in. Abbotsford, British Columbia is my guess. I think so. David and Amy, I'm sorry if that's wrong, but I think that's where it is. Dordt on the attack, and a joust at the net lands on the defender's side. And another point for Kansas Wesleyan. Can see Kansas Wesleyan's confidence grow throughout this 3rd set. They're up 9-6 as they are trading points here, point for point against the defenders. Wynn serving, played by Piekash. Van Groningen outside Guzman, puts it away. Guzman brings the heavy firepower on the right side that time. 9-7 in favor of Kansas Wesleyan. Serving will be Santiago. Santiago back to serve. Trailing by 2. Defenders need to make a run here. And the serve. Kansas Wesleyan has it. And they will set up the middle and over the head of Lawrence, unable to bring it across the net. Point for the defenders, 9-8 in favor of Kansas Wesleyan. 1 point away from tying this third set up. Here's the serve coming from Santiago, and that's a missed serve. 10-8 is the score. 10-8 is the score in favor of Kansas Wesleyan. Back to serve will be Lopez. Jeremy Lopez, the libero, 5'11 freshman from Burbank, California. He's one of 3 freshmen from Burbank, California in the rotation. Frost on the left side puts it away. Brady Frost, cross court, down it goes. Frost with the kill. 10-9 in favor of Kansas Wesleyan for Frost. That is his 5th kill in 9 swings. Piekash serving. And it's through the hands of Wynn and an ace for Piekash. And the defenders have battled back. We're tied at 10. Shout out to Bruce and Lisa Washington, parents of Sam Washington, a freshman from Victoria, Minnesota. Thank you for your email, Bruce and Lisa Washington, and supporting Defender Athletics. Kansas Wesleyan on the attack. Good play by Marcus Taylor. And Kansas Wesleyan with another point. 11-10 as they retake the lead here in set number 3. Defenders lead 2-0, 25-17, 25-13. Trailing here 11-10 in set number 3. Frost in serve receive. Outside Kaliza. Tools it off the block. Nice play by senior Caleb Kaliza. Set was very tight to the net. He didn't have a lot of options, so he plays it off the block. 11 tied at 11. Kaliza, 12 kills, 20 swings, hitting .450. Kaliza with the serve. And on the attack, Kansas Wesleyan. There's a block by Nelson with the solo block. And the defenders with a 12-11 lead. Timeout called by Kansas Wesleyan. Wesleyan with the timeout, trailing 12-11 in set 3. We'll take a break. By the way, this timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Now we'll take a break. We'll come back with more men's volleyball after this short break on the Dordt Media Network.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today. Serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
As we come back to the DeWitt Gymnasium, Caleb Kaliza out of the timeout. Another ace for the defenders, 13-11 in favor of Dordt. Set number 3, Dordt in front, 2-0, winning the first 2, 25-17, 25-13. Now in front, 13-11. A block by Luke Nelson. Kansas Wesleyan went to a quick to Colin Lindo. Nelson read it beautifully. And another point for the defenders. They have scored 5 in a row. Dordt trailed by as many as 3, 9-6. Since then, they have outscored Kansas Wesleyan 8-2. And on the left side, another block. Van Groningen and Nelson combined for the block. On the outside attack by Wynn, 15-11 in favor of the defenders. Defenders trying to get the sweep. Back-to-back sweeps to start the season in conference play. Big serve from Kaliza. It's getting Kansas Wesleyan little out of system and very predictable in their offense, and Dordt able to read it well and get the blocks. Piekash sends it over short. Kansas Wesleyan on the attack. Win left side. Good dig by the defenders. Hit over from the back row. Here comes Kansas Wesleyan. Longest rally of the match probably. Kaliza with the pass. Van Groningen outside. Frost got it. Nice point by the defenders. Longest rally of the match. No doubt about that. 16-11. Defenders with the lead. That is now 7 straight points for the defenders. 16-11. Dordt with the lead. Kaliza will try to continue the run, and there's an ace. Why not, right? Caleb Kaliza, his 3rd ace. Dordt has 9 aces as a team, 17-11 in favor of the defenders. And another timeout, the final timeout in set 3 for Kansas Wesleyan. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll take a break, come back with more Defender Men's Volleyball via the Dordt Media Network in a moment. Caleb Kaliza will come out of the timeout, serve for the defenders, and a kill for Kansas Wesleyan. Justin Burris with the attack and kill. Ends an 8-0 run by the defenders. Dordt up 17-12, and Groningen sends it across. Here comes Kansas Wesleyan on the left side. Hitting it over was Watt. Defenders keep it alive. They extend the point. That's a middle by Lindo, and Lindo puts it down for the kill. Colin Lindo with the attack. 17-13, back-to-back points scored by Kansas Wesleyan. Burris back to serve. Burris floats one. Guzman plays it. Here's a quick attack to Nelson, and he puts it away. Luke Nelson with the kill. 18-13, defenders by 5. Dordt picked second in the GPAC preseason poll. The conference season is made up of 10 GPAC matches. It's a double round robin. You play everybody twice. All 6 teams make the postseason tournament. The GPAC championship will be on April 1 at the highest seed left and remaining. There's a miss serve by the defenders. 18-14 is the score. Colin Lindo serving, played by Piekash. Guzman, blocked back by Kansas Wesleyan. Dordt retreats, they will get it. There's Nelson, down it goes. Nelson with another kill. 19-14 in favor of the defenders. Nelson with his 5th kill. You got Kaliza with 12, pretty good balance after that. Frost and Guzman with 6, Nelson with 5, Koyman with 4. I'd say that's pretty good balance. Nelson serving. Set to the middle, and Lawrence hits it into the net. Another point for the defenders. They get to 20-14. Defenders by 6. Set number 3. Dordt trying to come away with their 2nd straight sweep to start this season. Serve is Nelson, and that goes into the net. Point, Kansas Wesleyan. It's a 5-point defender lead, set number 3. Conference championship will be April 1. National tournament, April 11 through 15. That national tournament is played in Des Moines. And a missed serve. Good decision by Guzman to let that go. It floats long. And a side out point for the defenders. Van Groningen back to serve. So 6 teams in conference. You'll play them all twice. Conference schedule of 10 matches. But the Defenders will play several non-conference matches as well, a couple of tournaments. I think they're heading out to California, actually. Kaliza on the attack for the kill. 22-15 in favor of the Defenders. Taking a look at that men's volleyball schedule. They'll play in a tournament up in Jamestown, North Dakota, and then they will also head out to California to play 4 matches. That'll be early March over spring break, I believe. Kill from Caleb Lawrence, 22-16, side out Kansas Wesleyan. Some of their other non-conference matches: Mount Mercy, Viterbo, St. Ambrose, Kansas Wesleyan. Serve taken by Guzman. Guzman gets it back on the outside, and that's outside the antenna. And a point for Kansas Wesleyan. 22-17 is the score. Defenders by 5 in set number 3. Win to serve. And that one, there's an ace. Ace, that's the first ace for Kansas Wesleyan in this match. 22-18 is the score. 22-18, Defenders by 4. Guzman with the serve receive. Quick attack, Koyman, and he puts it away. Dylan Koyman out of the middle puts it down. 23-18, Defenders 2 points away from the match. Serving will be Santiago. Santiago back to serve, up by 5, set 3. Serve taken in the back row by Lopez. Set goes to the middle to Lawrence. Defenders return it. Kansas Wesleyan scrambling. They'll go to Burris, and who hits it out of bounds. And it'll be match point coming up for Dordt. Match point for the Defenders. A little bit of question on whose point that was. It was indeed Defenders' point. Match point, 24-18. Serving will be Santiago for the match. 24-18 Defenders, Santiago serving. Dug up by Lopez, outside, and a block by Kaliza and Koyman, and the Defenders get the sweep tonight here on their home floor, the DeWitt. 25-18 in set 3. Your scores: 25-17, 25-13, 25-18. Dordt improves to 2-0 this season, while Kansas Wesleyan falls to 0-2. Defenders with the sweep. And we'll talk about this match and probably get some post-game interviews as well. You are watching the Defender Men's Volleyball on the Dordt Media Network.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
And brought to you by Furniture Mart. Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, window treatments at your local Furniture Mart, family owned and located downtown Sioux Center.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gymnasium. The Defender men's volleyball team makes it a clean sweep over Kansas Wesleyan tonight, winning in 3 straight, 25-17, 25-13, 25-18. Today's Dordt Media Network broadcast brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. Visit them at wirelessworld.com. We are in the Wireless World post-match. Taking a look at the numbers in this one, Dordt hit 37% compared to 4% for Kansas Wesleyan. Ace serves favor the defenders 9-1. Blocks, Kansas Wesleyan with a total of 4. The defenders with a total of 8. Let's talk about individually. Kansas Wesleyan led tonight by Justin Burris with 6, 4 for Caleb Lawrence and Jalen Watt, 3 for Marcus Taylor, 2 for Colin Lindo, and Veet Wynn. Dordt led this evening by Caleb Kaliza, the senior with 13 kills, hit .435 for the match. 6 for both Brady Frost and Andreas Guzman. 5 each for their 2 middles tonight, Luke Nelson and Dylan Koyman. 31 assists for Lucas Van Groningen. Aces, 3 for Kaliza, 2 for Guzman, 1 each for Santiago, Piekash, Van Groningen, and Nelson. In the back row, Piekash led the way with 8 digs. And blocking-wise, Nelson had 3, Koyman with 2, and Frost with 1.5, as well as Guzman with 1.5. Defenders with a sweep tonight over Kansas Wesleyan as they start the season 2-0. They are 6-0 in sets played. And a good start for this Defender volleyball team. And once again, they are picked second in the conference preseason poll. And you look at the schedule up next for the Defenders is a trip to the GPAC favorite, the defending GPAC champion, up at Jamestown, North Dakota. That'll be on Friday night, February 3, a 7 p.m. tip-off, or not tip-off, but first serve for that one. And that's a big early season match for both of those teams, 10th-ranked Jamestown, and that'll be Dordt's next opponent Friday, February 3, up at Jamestown. After that, the Defenders will head back to Jamestown a week. They will play in a weekend tournament. They'll play 4 matches up at Jamestown, February 10 and 11. Their next home match will be a conference match against Morningside. That'll be a Thursday night match on February 16, and that is the next time they will play in the friendly confines of the DeWitt Gymnasium. The Defenders win it in straight sets, 25-17, 25-13, 25-18. And it completes a successful weekend for Defender Athletics. It started on Friday with the women's track and field team. Kelsey Evenhouse and Faith Measle competed in the multi-event over in Yankton, and they did an outstanding job there. The Defender track and field, or Defender cheer and dance teams competed at Northwestern this morning. Dance team finished third, totaled nearly 72 points. Cheerleading team also finished third. Both basketball teams victorious as well. They got a couple of wins. On the men's side, a 71-61 win at Hastings. On the women, it was 73-55 for the Defender women. And up next for them, they will play host to Morningside on Wednesday night. 6 and 8 p.m. will be those start times as the Defender basketball teams keep rolling. They're having an outstanding year. And the men's volleyball team also so far an outstanding year as they are out to a 2-0 start. And before the match, we acknowledge the 4 seniors involved with the program. Levi Vroom, he is a senior from Lethbridge, Alberta. And Logan Van Italy, a senior from Davenport. Luke Nelson, you heard his name quite a bit tonight, a 6'3 senior from Plymouth, Minnesota. And Caleb Kaliza, a 6'2 senior from Chicago, Illinois. Those 4 seniors recognized prior to the match as we've kind of shifted doing senior day earlier in the year, earlier in the season. That's going to do it for the broadcast, I believe. Thank you to the Dordt Media Network for the broadcast. And they did an outstanding job, as they always do, and the finest student photographers, student statisticians. And then there's that guy, Jeff Sager, who knows what he does, but I suppose he does a good job as well. Thank you for tuning in to the Dordt Media Network. Defenders get the win. Men's volleyball. And this is Matt the SID signing off.